Oops.
Spoiler alert.
Oops.
Well-oiled machine.
Nobody saw that.
Everybody saw that.
What's up? Okay.
So starting off today.
Yeah. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 120, being recorded on July 26, 2021. I am your host, Darth Moocher. I'm joined here with Grand Admiral Franz.
Hey, guys.
And Scott Solo's here with me.
What's up, nerds?
And we've got our pit being digested, and we got our Patreons Patreoning our podcast. So
our Patreons are Patreoning our patron.
It's a
list.
word.
I agree. Let's give a shout out to, let's see, we're going to go with Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour podcast, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Crystal Lamphere, Brandon and Anya Epler, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, and our latest, Mervine.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. And see, your hard-earned money is going right to see how it works. I mean, right to the whole thing. So,
man, that screenshot, that costs some money.
big money. That's insider information.
That's right.
People that are doing the listening to audio don't know anything we're talking about.
That's true.
So, but our pit is here with us. Mando Mike's here with us. We've got Santo 1414, Douglas Tupper. We have Gavin Connor. Who else am I missing?
Gordon. We got Gordon and Geo the Hutt.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. You know what we're going to be talking about. Of course, that's not right away, but so we got some stuff to talk about. And we got Bad Batch to skim over, okay?
Seriously, skim over. Usually I have 3 or 4 pages of notes on Bad Batch. That's Bad Batch and like 4 other topics. And Master of the Universe all on that page.
Yeah, man.
Oh boy.
Well, there's an interesting theory we want to get into too that Mando Mike brought up, and we'll kind of go in to segue that into our Bad Batch talk. But I think Chris, you were talking in our chat and everything. I think you had mentioned, which is very interesting. Kind of want to bring it up is Zack Snyder. I know this. I've seen this thing. Zack Snyder wrote a Star Wars treatment for the sequels, I guess.
Right, and it got declined. It didn't make it. Right.
So. But he's making the movie anyway. So he's
going to make Rebel Moon, it's called. Yeah. I believe it's just going to go to a Netflix or something. I forgot to even look at that part. Right? I just cared about this because my head immediately shifts gears into, this is a movie we get to see, a Star Wars movie without Star Wars.
Right.
To see if it would have worked.
Yeah. This is going to cause a lot of controversy.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right.
Love it or hate it. If it's good, it's gonna piss a lot of people off. If it's bad, it's gonna reinforce. But also, and people might just say it's good just for the sake of it because they hated what they got anyway, and they're just like, see, this is what Kathleen Kennedy, down with her, all of that stuff. It's just bad.
But it's kind of like I'm thinking about it now because we had a discussion. So you guys know behind the curtain, we had a discussion, the 3 of us, about G.I. Joe or Snake Eyes right now.
Yeah.
And asked Scott if it would be a good movie if it wasn't G.I. Joe related.
Right.
And he said you said, Scott?
I said it would be. I mean, there's still plot holes you could drive a truck through, but you take away the names Snake Eyes and Scarlet and the Baroness, and it would still be an enjoyable kung fu karate movie.
Yeah.
Ninja movie. So this is our take right now. This is my take on Zack Snyder had a Star Wars movie, and now we get to see if it would have worked as a regular movie. We'll assume it would have been bad Star Wars, and everybody would have hated it. Now we'll see if it works as a regular movie, right?
Until we got the Snyder cut. Are we going to get the Snyder cut of this where they just substitute? No,
I think I do believe he has free reign on it too to do whatever the hell he wants. So that's probably going to be his thing going forward. He's never going to let anybody edit anything or take anything away.
No doubt.
That debacle.
He's risen to that position, I guess.
Yeah. After that move.
There's certain directors that you can't touch.
We compare the 2 versions of Justice League. He should be left in charge of his visions because
let him have it.
I think that he edited the Justice League thinking that it was a world building thing going forward. I think, and when Warner Brothers said no, then it's like, why do it again? You know what I mean? So
But this is supposed to be some distant, obviously a distant planet, right, where it's been ravaged, and a young girl goes in search of warriors. It's supposed to be a combination of Star Wars, 7 Samurai, which are, the whole deal. So I think, and if I remember right, we heard that years ago that he was looking to do a samurai type Star Wars film, right?
Yeah.
So this must be exactly what they were talking about, and it just never made it, and boom.
Yeah, Gordon, you're absolutely right. Snyder's becoming the rebel in the industry, and seeing the public support, it just fuels it. You know what I mean? I'm interested in this this Rebel Moon. I really am. Because
do you think they'll have some kind of knockoff lightsaber or pew-pews, or like how close will he get without getting there?
Well,
if you read a script, I mean, it's all about the interpretation of a script. It's usually just words on a page. So, I mean, he doesn't have to adhere to lightsabers and all that. So.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, do you think he'd try to be like, oh, you didn't want it to be a Star Wars movie, I'm going to get it really close.
Wow.
Right?
Well, like, I think we're going to find the similarities, right? Everybody in our chat, we'll start picking like, okay, this, and like I said, and there's going to be that fan base that goes, see what we got where we're ripped off as fans, where they destroyed our I mean, it's a lose-lose situation in the fandom, you know? Might be win for Zack Snyder, but it's a lose-lose for us because we're going to have to hear it. And if it's something that's like, man, this could have been awesome, plug in Skywalker, plug in all these people, we might be even that same sentiment too, you know?
Right. Oh, we could put this right in the middle of A New Hope time, right? This could have been in between 4 and 5. Oh, what a fit that would have been. Or could you imagine what crap that? I'll just put it into canon in my head. Just for fun. Just be like, it's like a book that never goes anywhere. Just like,
so
that exists.
Rebel Moon. I guess research it with caution when it comes out. With caution, just look at it as a sci-fi movie. You know, but
which it is, but knowing that it could have been a Star Wars movie just adapted, it's going to be weird to see. Because we've never had anything like that.
No.
I've never even seen like, oh, this could have been a Marvel character, but it didn't. Right? They do spoofs of them. But never one that actually was.
Just like Trevorrow, right? His treatment for Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yeah.
The third installment. It would be like if he made that, and it was this like whole thing, and
Could you imagine? Did they just change the names?
After reading that thing, I'd ignore it.
Well,
I'd watch it just to see what happened. But you'd go so overboard, and it wouldn't be fair because you knew what everybody hated.
Right.
Really,
that's true.
Could really just.
That's true, man. Yeah. What a time we're living that the public is to dictate what the movies actually do anymore. Instead of just going to the movies and just watching and enjoying and coming home and talking with your friends, and we have to analyze every damn thing, like, and we're forced to. It's not like we used to analyze it in a fun way. Yeah, it's not a fun way as much anymore. Now it's analyzed that we have to. Yeah,
like it's weird
like our Beyond the Pit episodes, right? Our Beyond the Pit episodes, we talked about Ghostbusters on one of them. If you haven't checked that out, please go back and check it out. They're timeless. You can just put them in the background and listen to us rant about some other pop culture subject or whatever. But we love Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2, we just talk about. We don't love it, but we talk about it. We accept it, but we don't sit there and boycott things and make sure that it's, they never make another one like that again. It's just, but today, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But anyway,
hey, do me a favor. Highlight Vanilla Thunder there. Let me figure out who this is. I know that's me. But I don't know who Vanilla Thunder is. I have a couple guesses, but.
Well, you're the only coach in this room. So
that's why I figured it was for me. Well, so we'll see if Vanilla Thunder lets me know who it is.
Wait, first off, that's a cool name.
Right. That's why it caught my attention before I saw what the.
I do want to highlight Mervine's comment here because we're going to get into in fact I'm going to do this. I'm going to get into Bad Batch stuff now. I'm going to do it Bad Batch stuff now. Okay.
It's Justin who's out protecting and serving us in the Navy,
awesome.
One of my old Nightmare kids from the very beginning before we were even in travel or Pony or anything. We were young kids through high school.
Thank you for your service, Justin.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and thank you for supporting us here too. Or supporting your coach.
I mean, if you want to support us, there's a page.
Well, he's been to every movie with us. He's been to every movie we've ever done.
Yeah. I think I put a face to the name already.
Yeah, he looks like Vanilla Thunder.
That's what I thought. Mervine, we're going to get to your comment. I like how no one has complained about Filoni forcing Omega on us, but if it was Captain Kennedy, everybody would lose their minds.
See, Mervine has not been in any of our private chats on Facebook between our podcasting group.
Yeah.
So you would know that a lot of complaining is happening.
But it's not in that realm, though. It's not somebody's forcing it on us. I just don't appreciate the character all the time.
Correct.
I've made no secret about that, and I'll blast on her today too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm hoping what Mando Mike brought up on Facebook today. I hope that's the way, because it'll make her so much better. It'll fix the character crap that I'm dealing with her.
Yeah, exactly. So we've previewed our one of our topics because I want you to stay with us, and because we're gonna break something really interesting down with Omega that Mando Mike came up with in our Facebook Sarlacc Digest Central, because the conversation doesn't stop here. It picks up over there too. So we're gonna get into that because I think it's very interesting. It's something that would flip us around. It would flip me around from this series. It really would.
Okay.
But before we get into all that stuff, Claudia Gray's dropping a book.
January, The Fallen Star.
Ooh.
January. Wow. Okay. I thought it was like
nothing to do with Lost Stars, right? I mean, it's not a follow-up to Lost Stars, right?
It wouldn't be a follow-up. It could be a super prequel. Like it could have like.
Oh, so it's a High Republic novel.
Oh, it's the third High Republic novel. The third adult full High Republic novel.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So we had the Charles Soule, we had the Kevin Scott, and now we have the Claudia Gray.
Gotcha.
Claudia Gray also did a young adult, right? And that's the thing where they get mixed up. And when they say the end of the set, that's the end of the first
phase. Yeah.
I think there's 3 phases. This is the end of phase 1.
Right.
I'm hoping for a return of Geode
as well.
You know,
I'm just hoping the thing gets pumping a little. I mean, okay, the last one is Rising Storm is better the second time around, as usual for me. I'm usually not in a good mindset the first time. I have to relax my space and realize I didn't listen hard enough. It's got better points. It still takes me a while though. It's not grabbing. It's just like okay, I have to take it in chunks. If I listen to it in like say 30-minute chunks, I'm good. But usually I can just go for hours and it's totally cool. And I'm in it. And I'm boom, boom, boom. But I have to do these in chunks or I lose interest and realize I haven't listened to 2 chapters.
That's the same with me. I'm just now on chapter 17 and I'm like, they're in the middle of this fair that, okay, so it's like the galactic fair instead of the world's fair.
Right.
And I'm finding it again really hard to stay interested. Yeah. And I've not had this issue. I didn't have this issue with the first novel. I didn't have this issue with Claudia Gray's novel. This one, for some reason, I'm just, I don't know. I'm waiting for something to happen. And
hey, that's another segue to Bad Batch. But yes, go ahead.
No, it again goes to my feelings on how this could have been handled more like Shadows of the Empire. We could have had more of a multimedia thing to just kind of drum up that interest more. But
yeah, it started out really good. Like the hype was awesome. I mean, like I said, with it just and then it got into like the meat after the meat of the story was introduced to us. Then it kind of like, well, where are we going from here? And like to me personally, I was catching up on everything. I bought all the books. I was reading them with you guys, and then I just kind of like, I look and like, what do I want to do today? Well, I don't want to do those. I don't want to read those, and I can. They're right there. I just don't have it in me to do it, and maybe I will. I don't know.
The first novel, there's the Great Disaster, and you hear something like the Great Disaster, and there's this giant buildup to this disaster, and then it happens, and then it's over, and it's already fixed. And I'm like, I wanted to see the repercussions of this, man. And because you think the Great Disaster, which shut down all hyperspace and leaving people out in the wild, it's like, let's deal with this. Let's see what some of those horrors are out there, And
for a long time, it has to last forever, because really, if you just have an event that happens and it goes by, what's the difference between that and any other movie?
Yeah,
ever.
It's been a year and it's fixed. It's like, really? That's it? A year? That's all we get? I don't know.
Yeah. Again, maybe this is something that they're going to do as this chunk, and then it's just going to be there for consumption later. But with the Acolyte,
it sucks because the people working on it are really cool people. We talked to most of them, right? They're awesome, and it's a cool story. It's just the thing is, it's just something's not clicking.
Right.
I don't know if it's in the release times or just the stories. I don't know what it is, but there's not enough big moments within the books.
Yeah.
Right. You're waiting for 1 or 2 big things to happen. That's usually what happens. And it Rising Storm does, especially in the second half. I told you last time, and that's no different the second time through. I'm just better with the first half. Second half gets a whole lot darker and better.
Does it?
Yeah.
At what chapter does that start? Because 17's losing me quick.
it's coming up. It's after the fair. It's after the fair. The fair gets it going because Elzar. Once Elzar gets cracking at the fair, it's good.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Douglas Tupper.
I'm seeing things in this. Like I'm seeing there's a device that disables lightsabers and disables blasters and all that. And I'm like, okay, that's foreshadowing. Somehow the Nihil are going to get their hands on that.
Right.
And that's cool, but.
Right. Yeah,
sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I was just saying Douglas Tupper's reading the comics and he's just trying to get through the first book. Yeah. But yeah, once we get, I think the collective, maybe we can break it down in simpler things and like, the overall.
I think once January is done, when we get Claudia Gray's book, we get through all of phase 1. I'm going to sit down and just go through it all again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to look at it as a complete work and see how it came out. And if I do it in 1 or 2 weeks, I say, if I do it 2 weeks, phase 1, I'll see how it plays out.
And it might help if we talk about it. If we set aside a hot topic or something like that and talk about just High Republic and get everybody in on it and like kind of
we'll do a whiteboard and everything.
Yeah.
Back here, we'll just go through this stuff.
Exactly. All right, cool. Well,
may I interrupt really quick? Yes. I just got notification that Vanilla Thunder has become one of our Patreon members.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Justin.
Thank you so much, Justin. We really appreciate that. You're awesome.
We should be paying you, my friend.
Indeed.
Thank you very much, Justin. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now I want to guys I want to show you a picture that came out and it kind of caused a lot of controversy.
Let me see if I can predict. Oh, it is what I thought.
Right.
So
we woke up to messages. Is this real, guys?
Yeah.
Right. Rich, who came back from the dead, was putting that in the chat, and we were like at first, no, it's fan made. There's no way.
Right.
It's real.
Yes, it's real. Yes, it's official. But it's not clear, or it's not officially like this is a preview for Mando 3 or a spin-off Luke Skywalker Grogu or whatever they're doing. Because in this picture, they're building a lightsaber, which is awesome. It's an awesome artist by Russell Walks. Russell Walks is an official Star Wars licensed artist. And this was a Comic-Con exclusive. If you ever go into a Comic-Con, they have Artist Alley. If you go to Celebration, there's the artist, and you get specific things. They're allowed. Basically, how it goes like this: they're allowed to draw whatever they want. I think the first 100 copies that they sell goes back to Lucasfilm, and if they make 250 prints, they sell the other 150 prints. They keep that at the convention. But so what they're doing is they're giving a free reign. Russell Walks obviously took a something
idea.
Cool, an idea, and made it
something we all wonder about, right?
Yeah,
everybody wonders what's going to happen with these guys.
Yeah, and he made it a collector's print for people to buy and frame it, whatever. And I'm sure this is happening somewhere in the universe. You know what I mean? But nowhere is this like a advertisement poster for Mando 3 or anything like that. It's
now,
just
what I find odd, because I agree with you on all those points, right? But like last year's Comic-Con was the Yoda in front of the stained glass, and you seen Revan and all sorts of things that weren't canon, right? I think it was wasn't even Star Killer in there from Unleashed. All
Star
sorts
Killer,
of stuff
Bane, all the Sith Lords on one side.
Things that just aren't canon were all over that poster.
Yeah,
we know that. That didn't go to trends. That didn't go buy on internet. You can just put a poster on your wall.
Right.
This is at Trends. You could have theoretically got this at Walmart. I know it was a limited release, so you couldn't. But Trends International is a poster keep making company that it was on. I just feels like that was so different, right? That this is where that's where they got the Ahsoka posters. Everything else came from Trends. So it's just weird that they would put it out. That's how I find it interesting. Right. They would let this go as a poster. It's not even that great of artwork, so to speak, right?
Well,
it's very basic.
Beautifully rendered. I mean, that much is for sure. It's beautifully rendered. I mean, there's a lot of textures and I love the light sources in there and everything, but you got Luke breaking the fourth wall, which is an odd choice. I mean,
looking into my soul.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's some odd choices. There's some odd choices in it. But
again, this is something that showcases like it's almost like drawing the Mandalorian with a darksaber above his head and all the Mandalorians falling in line back. We don't know anything about like that storyline, but it's something that would be a cool artist rendition of something cool.
Yeah. The idea of it is cool. I'm saying it's just so out of place to put it out like that. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's a Comic-Con thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To answer everybody's question, yes, it's an official artwork done by an official licensed Star Wars, Lucasfilm license. Russell Walks is very awesome. He's awesome. Look him up. He's got some really cool stuff, and he goes back in Star Wars a lot longer than just now. So, yeah,
I just can't think of a time where Trends had it. So that's
right.
What's throwing me off here, because they're the generic poster company.
Do you think it's because there is no Comic-Con right now? Do you think it's because Trends can get it into more hands than just a one-off company?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because we were supposed to have Celebration, right? I'm sure this poster was probably meant for Celebration, or maybe he was contracted to do something for Celebration last year, and then it got moved to next year. And so probably to fulfill his contract, maybe they're like, hey, draw something for Trends and make it, sure, do this too. Because it won't say Lucasfilm on it at all. You know what I mean? It has his name in the corner. That's it. So
we need to keep a pin in this conversation, in this poster, and let's see when Grogu inevitably gets his saber, or we see it's going to be yellow. That's going to,
let's put it this way. Remember when Season 2 of The Mandalorian, when they were cast were being revealed, and we were getting this type of poster of the character reveal? Wasn't just Ahsoka yet. It was like Mayfield's
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
This it reminds me of it, right? This reminds me of the start of that.
With the characters staring you in the face. And,
it kind of reminded me of the promo posters for Mandalorian Season 3, but I don't just think we're there yet, because I just think that there's Book of Fett and Vision and all the other things that they're doing before 3 even is brought to our attention, because I think even Kenobi probably might be before that. Yeah. But anyway,
I don't think this will take place in Mando 3. If this takes place anywhere, it's going to be in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I think they're going to combine. They have to connect at some point. If Luke and Ahsoka don't connect, I just feel like it's a waste of having her alive. Yeah. It would suck.
Yeah, I agree with something that Mervine just hashtagged. No more Jedi in the Mando. I'm down with that. Grogu's story with Mando does not need to continue yet.
Correct.
I mean, they can push that off for a long time. I want to know what's happening with the Mandalorian, and
it's called the Mandalorian. So
exactly, not the Grogu show.
Grogu can be in Ahsoka if he ever shows back up with Luke.
Yeah.
If Ahsoka and Luke connect, then Grogu's there, and that's what needs to happen, because Ahsoka and Luke have to connect.
I hope, man, that would be so cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Treebeard, who's in our chat. Welcome, man. It's I know you're East Coast, so this is late for you, but thank you very much for joining us. But yeah, you're Mervine's right in a sense, because after Season 2 of Mandalorian, what we got, and it was such a it was a crossover haven for us. The beginning, the seeds were planted in almost every episode. Mm-hmm. To go back and see, and then he has, like I said, he has we're predicting, it's also like Darksaber, Mandalore, Bo-Katan. That's where it's going to go. And I'm cool with that. Like more Mando lore, more get into that whole everything. So yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this up real fast. Before we get into other things, because I do want to get into the Bad Batch, because we have been talking about the Bad Batch, right?
Yes. I guess. It's better than Resistance. Okay, I still love the characters. I love the Batch. I love them, right? Omega is driving me up a wall still.
Yeah.
So I like where Mike's going with her.
Yeah,
get there.
So this one was called Infested. It's episode 13.
Warning, filler episode. Episode.
Other than the Mine Car, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom influence, and I looked up from my phone on that one and then looked back down. Sid is driving me nuts because they can't escape her. They had her out, and Omega's brought her right back in. Like Omega brought her. You have to do this because she got taken over by the Pikes.
She said when we needed help, we went to her. She wasn't giving you free ass help.
Yeah, it was. She held you hostage, bro. She blackmailed you. I mean, she blackmailed her. Even in it was mentioned in a thing like, Sid has powerful allies. You don't want to make her an enemy, kind of deal. I don't know, dude. I am thoroughly bored with the show, and because of the stuff that they introduced, and there's been no payoff since. Like I'm not giving up because there's still more episodes left, obviously. But for God's sake, man, do something.
That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. This is the episode. No, it's not.
Yeah, what did they really show us? The Pikes are involved. Okay, yeah, we know about them. We know they're ruthless. Sid got taken over by one faction, then they got threatened. It's like they helped her out by hiding the spice from to get that Divinarian guy. I forgot his name. Roland. Okay, so Sid got taken over by him. And they helped her by hiding the spice. And then the Pikes were like, go get my spice.
And if you go get it, we're all good. That's all it is. That's not how gangsters work.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're going to lose somebody. Somebody's going to get a leg broken somewhere.
It was 6 canisters of spice. And that's not enough to it's not like this huge shipment where the Pikes depended, life or death depended on it. It's 6 canisters. I don't know, man.
It was weird.
It seemed to me like the episode could have been a lot shorter, and it just kept on going too. It's like I don't know. It's the first episode. There have been 2 episodes, in my opinion, that have been so fillery that they were unnecessary.
Yeah.
The first one was the one where they introduced Fennec. I thought that episode, it was cool seeing Fennec, but otherwise that episode was
the Stranger Danger episode. Yeah.
Yeah. And this episode got us nowhere. And
the last 2 for me was like,
the last 2. I mean, the last one had Hera and
didn't like it. We had Hera the one before that. We had the conclusion of it.
Hera was 2.
I love those episodes. Yeah. But this one,
bored
man,
as shit, dude. I'm serious. I'm sorry. Oops. Oops.
It just felt unnecessary. The whole episode felt unnecessary, unless it is putting Sid now in their debt. To now where
something has to happen.
Well, she's with them now. She's with them, right? She went on, or I honestly forgot how it ended. Did it when they took off? Was Sid with them, or Sid's back in her little stronghold?
I think Sid's back in her stronghold, but I mean, she owes them now. It's
right.
The tables have turned. I'm hoping that gets explored, or it just completely gets dropped and never mentioned again.
Right.
But
I'm tired of her being the checkpoint. I'm tired of the checkpoint in the game.
You don't get Rhea Perlman as the voice of a character and then just, step away from it. Apparently you keep her around because, somebody's got to man the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
like I said last week, I think it's becoming clearer that 16 episodes is way too long. And if this is season 1 of many seasons, of course here's me. Of course I'll watch it. Of course I'll discuss it, but it's not going to be into my go-to or at all. Like Rebels, I'm revisiting Rebels and all that stuff. It's just fantastic. And different time frame, I get it. But Bad Batch is in a perfect time frame if you really think about it. If you really want to see that transition, and there are a couple episodes where you start seeing those transitions from Confederate or Separatist worlds to the Republic worlds and how they're coping with this Empire coming in.
The Ryloth ones were good. That's the cool part about that. You're right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that stuff, But again, the Kaminoans, we dropped it. It's dropped. Mm-hmm. I was trying to think, like, did I miss something? Was that plot?
They're the ones getting the bounty hunters. That's where the bounty hunters are coming from. We just haven't seen a bounty hunter in a minute.
And in 6 episodes, exactly.
We bounced out.
Yeah, and Mervine, I'll say this before I let you, Scott.
Sure.
Filoni, what the hell? I'm blaming Filoni on this one, man. Did he go like here to somebody else and say, write me 10 episodes and I'll write the other 6 and I'll just weave them in? Like,
yeah, we've had Cad Bane. I'm not excited about the season.
Yeah,
right. I mean, we've had a bunch of we were going to see Boba Fett. I'm sure of it, but I'm still like, it's still going to be one of those things where I'm like 16 episodes for 2 episodes worth of cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back up to the top here, the comments list.
Oh, okay.
And Mervine said they've all been filler episodes, Scott, and that is true to a point. And that is, this show is not a necessary show. And if you're looking at it like that, then all the episodes are pretty much filler. We don't need to know how the clones stop being the main force for the Empire. We don't need to know. We just know that stormtroopers take over clone troopers. I feel like this show is, I hope, fingers crossed, knock on wood, the show is going to get us to that point where we see the clones getting, taken out.
That's the one that's called Warhammer.
That's the next one. That's this week's.
That's the big one. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, that's this week. So
don't get yourself all hyped up for nothing, man.
It has to be. That's the process of taking away the clones. So something's about to pop right now with those G1s that aren't they're laying down their shield and War Mantle. We're gonna see assassinations.
Like I said, dude,
we don't see assassinations this week. I'm gonna be pissed off.
Yeah,
they need to start.
There are things there. They just like it's so frustrating that we're not. It's like
it's hinting around them. We're not getting to the meat and potatoes of it yet. And it's, I love Filoni. I think that Filoni is a great writer. I love everything, but he does have a tendency to start us. Let's look at the return of Darth Maul. It was hinted at from the beginning of the season. Right. Darth Maul's coming, and there was like 10 episodes.
Oh, right, yeah,
and it was the season finale when Darth Maul popped up at the end.
That's what scares me about multiple seasons with this.
Well, actually, take that a step further. At the end, we thought Ezra was going dark.
Right.
Yeah, by the next season, we had time jumped, or not time jumped, but he was totally not dark anymore.
Not at all.
We never reconciled. We never really went through it. It was just. I'm cool.
You're absolutely right. This is his MO on that.
He does the pang.
He's not infallible. I mean, the guy does, he does a lot of these filler episodes that are not necessary. And
we give him a pass because the overall product is dope, right?
Yeah,
it's like awesome.
Absolutely. And it's not over. So I keep stressing that. We got 3 episodes left. Okay, we'll trudge through.
But the last real animated series we had was Resistance, and it was the same problem.
Yeah.
No, Resistance had all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
And
they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It was like all filler.
Yeah. Everything was filler. There was no reason for it.
Even
other
the
than
filler
to
episodes
kids.
were filler. I mean,
And I get that these shows aren't necessary. They might be filler series, but for the show, there shouldn't be this much filler within that world, right? It should be, let's get to the action. Let's pop.
I agree, man.
But if they're playing a long game on the story, maybe we just don't see where this one went, and there was something important there. But let's talk about Mando Mics. Are we going to jump into that?
Yeah. So I want to chat. This is your perfect opportunity let's get into this. We're going to theory craft something that Mando Mike brought up into our Facebook Starlight Central. And it made everybody kind of take a step back and go like, wait a second. Not that it's going to happen, but that would be something cool.
Let me preface this with my usual, this was never going to happen. Okay. I like the idea of it, but it's never going to happen. And that is Scott's MO. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's Scott's MO
every time.
Is this Darth Leia all over again?
This is a Darth Leia one. So I do want to welcome Robert Vokes.
Yep.
Face? Okay. I can't see. I don't have glasses. And Douglas Tupper.
And Brandon Epler.
In our chat. Brandon Epler. Yes. They joined us on chat. So Mando Mike was talking about Omega. And he was talking about how if you look at her from the beginning of the series to the end, she's been putting the Bad Batch in every dangerous scenario possible. She's putting them in harm's way. Almost every episode by like getting in front. No, we have to do this and talking him into. He mentioned that she's got Hunter feeding out of her hand, like whatever. And eventually her actions are going to get them killed. And Mike's theory is it's on purpose. Omega being a special clone, maybe it's something that we're not looking into. Maybe it's something that she is actually dangerous, for the group itself. And maybe that's why the Kaminoans want her. Tug of warring, or I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to think that way because if you go back to these episodes, she goes, we've complained about this, right? We've complained about like Omega, like what do you have like blackmail papers on these guys or what? I mean, they follow you when they don't have to.
Like the second she says, no, we have to. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been every episode, but this one, after he said that, I happened to rewatch it again before the show. Yeah. And sure enough, when she starts breaking down the Sid needing to help Sid, it's twice she tries it.
Right.
And the first one, she seems so desperate to get him to stop. And it was like, whoa, girl. It was like we hadn't even said no yet. And she went desperate mode. Whoa. We can't go. We need Sid.
Right.
The hell? Sid has screwed you over I don't know how many times already. I know you're the moral compass of the group.
That's true. Omega, you were standing there when Sid said that you are in my debt and I'm going to use you until I can't use you anymore. And then they're going to go around and help her. And then what did she do with Hera in that episode? She gave, here's our top secret comms that you can contact us if you ever need help. And Hunter was all mad. Like, how can you do that? We don't know these people.
She gave out the top secret comms.
Yeah. So, it's...
She's
sabotaging these guys.
And Order 69 is in effect right now, but we don't even know it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if this theory is so okay, we're chalking up to being naive or whatever. She's either too good of a person that she wants to help everybody, right?
Right.
That's a flaw in Star Wars characters too.
It is.
So again, that's probably what this is, but at the same time, it's like I would like this because it would make me appreciate that character a lot more at the end of this.
It would fix it. It would fix it. If all of a sudden we realize she's a plant, I'm like, Filoni's a genius. The whole time we were took. Cliff
said Omega also makes Hera lose her French accent. So evil. That is the best. I'm telling you. Oh man, I'm telling you, that would make everything turn around for me, and it could work. I mean, it doesn't have to be so like Omega's just typical, predictable. Because she goes against the grain in such an annoying way, if she was doing this for a purpose, and maybe she doesn't know what she's doing, she's just doing it, and
she knows what she's doing.
I guess it won't come to fruition until she gets one of them killed.
Right.
And now look at you. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to say when you do that. When you get Wrecker killed, I'm gonna like you, capital B.
I think that was another one of Mervine's things was stop making Wrecker comic relief. I'm like, no, make Wrecker comic relief. He's great as comic relief. I love him.
So
I love Wrecker.
I will say this about that, and at first I liked it, and then it was kind of getting a little bit annoying to me. But then there's like 3 episodes where he doesn't say a word, and then so it's like it's timing is just right in my book as far as like you're getting and all of a sudden he's doing this, and see, I have a problem with reckless characters, ones that just run into battle, guns blazing, and then nothing happens to them over and over and over. Look at Wonder Woman. That's why. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit.
We're going beyond the pit.
Beyond here, like Wonder Woman was like that to me. She head first ran into every single battle after everybody was telling her stop. Like, stop! You're getting people killed. You're gonna get yourself killed. And she's like, I just can't do it. I have to do it. And that reminds me of Wrecker. But also I have to chalk it up to like Wrecker's brain has one mode, just like Hunter's brain, Tech's brain, Crosshairs. They all have these specialties that are over enhanced.
Wrecker just has to be super aggressive. Just do that, and it takes over everything.
But he should have gotten killed by now. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have the scars for nothing, right? I mean, he blew his own face up and eyeball off. I mean, it's,
and he still likes it.
No, see,
right?
Okay, so Douglas Tupper, if you're talking about like, and I was just gonna say Han Solo is the same way. The difference between Han Solo is that everybody around him is the one who saves his butt. Which is, Han Solo is like that too. He'll run into a battle constantly, and that kind of character.
But he's not always doing it. He just changes it. Like, okay, on the Death Star, he didn't want to go searching for it until there was money involved, right? But then you turn around, he's going to chase a platoon of stormtroopers away.
Right.
He's back and forth. Omega has one gear, and it's let me annoy the shit out of everybody and get him into danger. She doesn't have a different
She's looking. It's funny how Omega is looking over everybody else's safety but the Bad Batch's safety. She's always putting them in these situations. They have to free the slaves over, and with the Rancor episode, they have to do that. I have to come with you. I'm one of them. I'm part of the team. I'm doing.
Yeah. See, there we go back to that dark thing. I have to come with you. Can't I go? Yeah. Most of the time, we think she's really sweet, and she's all excited with Hera about the bedroom and all this stuff. So maybe it's a chip thing. Maybe it is. Maybe there's something in there, and she doesn't realize she's doing it, but she's just built to do it.
Yeah. It would make her character a lot more interesting to me at the end of the show, and that's what made the composer cry at the end when Omega's like, she gets Sith eyes at the end, and she's like, I'm,
Captain Phasma.
That would be awesome.
No, it would not.
That would be so out of place.
I know it would, but you know what?
I would leave. I'm done.
Phasma with an F.
Chris is going to quit Star Wars.
No kidding, dude.
If I get Phasma's grandma, I'm out.
It's never going to happen because
I know it's not.
I mean, like it or not, it is Disney. Disney is not one for making evil children.
Well, you know what? And that would be surprising, wouldn't it? That would make for good TV, and that would get ratings up. So I think that's where we need to go.
That's where, and I agree with that. I think that's where we need to. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, you know, Omega going ape and doing stuff, but it has to be something where it's. Look, I'll just say it right now. The show's not grasping me, and now I look back in all 13 episodes so far. I'm even the Tarkin episode, even the first episode. It's not good enough to carry over this whole show.
Oh, see, that was good for the first bunch, dude. Like the first near half.
But as we're getting into it, I'm like, just as we're getting into it, I'm like, look, man, if this whole thing went away tomorrow, I wouldn't miss it. You know.
So here we go. Whom we all think we're pretty open Star Wars people and give everything a fair chance. Sequels are our least favorite. For the most part, right? Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Not Scott. Scott hates prequels. I get you.
I don't hate the prequels.
Well, you don't prequel.
I don't Attack of the Clones, really.
Resistance didn't grab our attention.
Yeah, no.
High Republic has lost our attention. Half the novels, I mean, I read
the
them
only
all.
thing that's working is something like
half of them
Clone
are
Wars.
fantastic, and then the other half are like, they're good. You know, it's just like this Disney era is now. I'm going to say it, and I hate saying it. Right? I don't say that ever. This Disney era is way below par, way below the bar of anything else.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get it up near the bar. It's like so far beyond now. Somebody needs to wake the fuck up and fix it. It's like they need somebody in there to say, okay, it's like they're not DC level, but it's like we need a quick shift. Somebody make a little swerve here.
Yeah.
We've got to get somebody in charge here that knows what they're doing. And I guess Kathleen Kennedy. I mean the creative team.
Yeah, and like I said, the Mandalorian is the only one so far, and Clone Wars season 7 is the two things that are Rogue One and Solo. I mean, there is a stark difference. Like half the content is spectacular, and then half the content is like, look, do we need that? You know what I mean? Like, did we really have to go there?
That's key. That's key right there. Do we need that? I mean, I agree. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying the Bad Batch. I think that it's not a necessary show. I liked The Last Jedi. I liked The Force Awakens. I liked, to some extent, Rise of Skywalker. I love Solo. I love Rogue One. I love The Mandalorian. Love season 7 of the Clone Wars. Love Rebels. Rebels might be one of my favorite things of all time.
Yeah.
Not the Bad Batch. Is it a necessary show? No, but it's at least enjoyable to me. I know not to you, Mooch, but
it hasn't been like it's what's happening is we have another episode this week, and usually I would be like, oh cool, it's on tonight, at midnight, whatever. Now I'm just like, is it over? Like, can we move on to something else? That's and I'm having that feeling, and I've had that feeling for a couple weeks now. Like,
I wonder if knowing what's coming in the rest of the slate that they've got, if that's kind of informing that too. Would you be able to enjoy it more if you didn't know that, holy crap, the Book of Boba Fett's coming? And
doesn't play a part in my mind.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So here's, and again, I'll speak for myself, and I don't know if anybody chat or Chris or you agree with this, but pre-Disney buyout, announcements of 7, 8, and 9, all that stuff, I was content with my Star Wars. Meaning, I had my 6 movies, I had my EU, I had my video games, and I knew the merchandising was it was a revolutionary thing. It would just continue and continue and continue. I would sit in my room, look at my toys, and I was content for a long time. Chris and I we were content with our 6 movies. And now that Disney has the IP and they're starting to produce all this stuff, I know not everything could be gold, but like I've said before, and it's hard to say because of Mando and all the other things that came with it. If that era went away, I would still be content with what I had. Like, I wasn't striving for more Star Wars on just a plethora of info and cartoons and movies. I wasn't. I was like I said, I had my love, and that was it. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying this, and I'm in it for the ride. I like what's going on, but at the same time, when you bring me stuff like Resistance or Bad Batch or the prequels or the sequels and stuff, those are the things I'm like, look, if you can't do it to where it's like spectacular like we had it, I wouldn't want to do it at all. I don't want a mediocre show and just chalk it up to, just put it over here on its shelf. I have to do that, but I don't want to do that. Not with Star Wars. Everything else, any other IP in the world, not with Star Wars. And that's my opinion again. That's just.
do you think it's because we're getting too much? Do you think it's because there's been too much too soon and not enough time is being taken? Already 2 years in between movies, I think, was too fast. Yeah, I think that was way too fast for the sequels. I think they could have, if they would have made it through the usual 3 years in between movies, I think it would be.
The problem is that you have too many people creating now, and not everything is going to be gems. Not everything is going to be gold.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
There's too many hands in the pot right now. Way too many.
You can only do so much of Luke Skywalker's in the Imperial times, right? Because we've dissected that time to death, and if they keep giving us that stuff, that's going to become mundane. You know what I mean? They need to go back 3,000 years. That's what will really.
We need something fresh.
Yeah. Like I said, the Bad Batch suffers because we had 7 seasons of the Clone Wars already. I know this is,
and this is season 8,
and this is to the tail end. All we needed is maybe 6 episodes to close out maybe a cool little story.
Yeah, this should have been an 8 or 10. I thought it could have knocked a bunch of stuff out. Clean some stuff up, seen the rise of the Empire, moved us on, and gone to another live action. But that's a good point. I had that noted down. Is it just too much crap? Are we being fed so much stuff? Because again, I blasted the EU too. There's a lot of junk in the EU. Right?
Absolutely.
In the books, a lot of stuff. We didn't have TV shows. We didn't have cartoons back then. So we've got a lot more stuff in this 6 years that Disney's had it, right? Or 7 years that Disney's had it. We've had a lot more stuff than the previous 37 years.
Yeah.
So to that point,
it's losing some of
to judge.
It's losing some of its special. It sounds cheesy to say that, but Star Wars was an event. It was special.
Correct.
Whenever
we had our thing, and when we got together, we still talked about something that was 30 years old. And we also had it in our heads that there was going to be no more moving forward, and we were content with that until. Boom. And of course, we're first in line. Everything. We watch this stuff at midnight. We're at the Disneyland premieres. We're consuming. We consume. It's just cool. I'm not withdrawing from the Star Wars thing, but just like chat's agreeing with us too. I think it's a lot more now. Dave Filoni is involved in a lot of stuff, and I think the stuff that he's touching, even Bad Batch to an extent, but I don't know how much he just pawned off. But he's got the Kenobi, Ahsoka, and Mandalorian thing that he's working on, and I think those are going to be golden.
Yeah.
And if we just had that moving forward, like the Book of Fett coming out and Mando next year, and then I would be cool. Now, what's really worrying me is the Rogue Squadron movie. It's a subject that I don't know. Again, we have to see a lot more. It could be a Rogue One.
It could be great. We didn't know about Rogue One, and it's gold.
That's true.
I'm hoping the same thing. 'Cause I'm the same way about Rogue Squadron. Those weren't my books either. So I'm
I love those books, man.
God,
those books are great.
And no, I did watch it. Wonder Woman 1984 the other day, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I liked 75% of the movie, but I hadn't seen it yet. I hadn't seen it this whole time and just watched them. Oh, it's not nearly as bad. I could see her maybe pulling a Star Wars, but still, I don't know if I'm confident enough to be like, oh yeah, she needs a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Cliff
is saying don't treat it like Marvel or something new. Like I said, this new phase, they're trying really hard to make the next 10 years spectacular, and it's I don't know if it's working or not. Gordon saying maybe we need some new story, guys. I think we need a new time frame. I think the Mandalorian is key, but it's moving away from the time frame. It really is. It's going into cultural things now with different, like the Mandalorian's culture, which is good.
It's the same time frame, just different part of the universe, right?
Which is exactly that's awesome.
Yeah. Andor. Who is helming Andor? I don't know. I don't
know if
I forgot Andor was coming.
Go ahead.
Andor's coming, and I'm excited for Andor. I really am.
Yeah, I'm ready for Andor. Although I do believe Tudyk confirmed that they always confirm they're not in something, but he said he's confirmed he's not in it.
Yeah. So
let's see.
I think, in my opinion, and I know, like I said, I know our pit. I know you guys. If they gave us, like I said, I just go back to the Old Republic. If they go back to that time frame, because that's a brand new slate as far as bring it into the fold. Tony
Gilroy.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. He's the one who did Rogue One.
Yeah, he's the writer of Rogue One.
So he's doing
Duplicity, Nightcrawler.
Nice.
Michael Clayton.
Well, I'm on board. There are things, like I said, I never knew I needed Rogue One until Rogue One came out. I love that film. I put it within my top 4 or 5 Star Wars films of all time. I really do.
And he did all the Bourne stuff. He was a writer on all the Bournes.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
So
if anybody in our chat too, if you disagree with us, let us know. Let us know your opinion. I mean, you don't know. Not everybody has to agree with us, even though again, I don't agree with Mooch on things. I don't agree with Chris on certain things.
But we can
bullshit.
Attack of the Clones is terrible.
The one thing we all have in common is that we consume it all.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And because we live it. Star Wars is life for us, and we live it. We talk about it. It's fun. It's just fun to do. But again, we have our opinions, and I think, like I said, I think the Star Wars writing team, with the slate that's being coming out, I think it could benefit from doing something completely brand new and different. Now, High Republic was supposed to do something like that, but in the format that it's in, that's a hard sell. Okay, nobody buys books anymore. Comic book stores are in trouble. I mean, this is a hard sell to do. I think they should, like I said, come out with a cartoon or a live action before, and then novels to follow, like reverse it, instead of the opposite. And I think that's where it's suffering.
Hey, highlight Gordon right there. That last Gordon comment. That's going to be really tough.
Yeah. Okay. Good point, Gordon. Gordon's saying it's going to be hard for this Star Wars generation to find nostalgia and all this. Now, here's my opinion on Star Wars nostalgia. And I've had this conversation with Cliff too. Today's kids, they like Star Wars, and then they move on. Like it's like they never say there's Star Wars and there's everything else like we do. They see Star Wars as they see Marvel, as they see Pokemon, as they see whatever. We see Star Wars, and then there's everything else that follows underneath it. Now, like my kid, like Chris's, our kids like that. They love Star Wars because they were born into it also. Like the prequels and
but mine are way less. They know them, but they don't. Yeah, they're not me.
Same thing. God. Like my son loves Star Wars. He will be there at the the premieres and everything, but he doesn't collect. He doesn't. I mean,
right.
He's not like me where I talk it 24/7.
Doesn't obsess, doesn't know the basics. Likes to hear it when we talk it.
Yeah.
Right? Is definitely interested, but doesn't sit there and once we're done talking, it's like, all right, cool, late.
Yeah, and on Gordon's thing, so this is why I have a problem with that. He was the actor that played Kanan, the voiced Kanan.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
So, he got into a big rant about the fandom being babies and it's a kid show and all that stuff. And I sat there and I go, you know what? You're right. It's a kid show, but it was a kid show back in 1970s and 1980s. And we were the kids. We grew up. Star Wars grew up with us. And now I think sometimes we're wanting a little bit more maturity in that cartoon, that kids cartoon.
And they give it to us a lot. I think they give us quite a bit.
Just look at Rebels.
Rogue One.
Rogue One, Rebels. I mean, it's a kid show, but there's some really super dark themes in it.
Yeah.
Orin Freytag got shot in the temple.
Yeah, right.
But it's okay. It was just a flesh wound.
We haven't seen him moving yet, so I mean, he could.
That's
still
right. Die. But I fear that Star Wars will die with our generation, meaning the fanaticism of it. Okay, it'll be another. Oh yeah, I remember that. Like, oh yeah, Star Wars is big. It's great. I love Star Wars, but they don't put it on their walls. They don't put it on their arms. They don't buy the toys. Like I think Gordon, to your point, like I said, I think nostalgia is for us. For our generation, and there's a lot of kids that like it, but I don't think it's the craze that made it. And that's why I disagree with that Freddie Prinze Jr. thing, because I'm like, well, dude, like we're making Star Wars, not the kids. I'm sorry.
Wasn't his rant, wasn't his rant more geared towards the people that are just bitching about everything, though?
Yeah. Well, he was saying like, look, you're bitching about a children's movie. It's for children. It's not for you and all that stuff. Or it's meant for children. I said, yeah, I agree. But we were the kids, and now the kids are 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's happening is that.
But also at the same time, you can't make a Star Wars movie that's geared just towards the 40-year-olds.
But we're the only ones that ever were going to know, because they didn't have that before us, right? This is the craze. We're that weird set of kids.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't happening before Star Wars anytime,
and
it really hasn't happened again since as major. You can say Marvel or whatever, but it's not the same craze.
I will say this about the youth. The last few Marvel movies that I went to, all the kids that I saw were wearing Star Wars shirts. So I was like. Right. Yeah. I thought that was cool. But again, cool. Like I said, Cliff and I have this discussion, like, his kids like Star Wars, but they don't like, craze about it. Like and sometimes I hold that special because we grew up on something that we grasped onto it. And if it dies with us, well, we'll never know. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, actually thinking about it, out of the podcast groups we know, there's many on the Red 5 that are near our age, but it's a pretty young set of kids too, really. Mm-hmm. So it is out there. It's huge, and the some of the parts of Twitter are pretty young. So I mean, it exists. Yeah. It's just not going to be anywhere near, and it won't be the nostalgia. It'll be, remember when everybody hated it?
That's what I think. That's the key. Seriously. Right there. What you just said, and to Gordon's point was the nostalgia part of it. Like, people like it because Star Wars is epic, and the stories are fantastic. But the nostalgia factor, like, we cried when Darth Vader came through that hallway. It was an addition to that movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. They put it in there, and it made the movie from a 10 to an 11.5. Like, it really did. Take that out, it was still a 10. It was still good, but that was for us, right? Like, I'm sure people go like, yeah, that's cool. It was a cool Darth Vader scene, but like, I mean, why are you crying? You know what I mean? and that crying is that nostalgia part of it. Like the young guys that are doing podcasts, I listen to them and they're passionate about it, but they don't. I know. They also can move on to something real quick.
They don't hear Jimmy.
Exactly. You listen, but you don't hear them.
That's right.
Yeah. Damn, we're nerds.
Yeah.
It's not just our little corner though, Star Wars. It's everything. All the things kind of lose steam after a while. It's like we can get into G.I. Joe if you want, but I know that's a beyond the pit kind of thing. But it's the same thing. Same with Harry Potter. I mean, Harry Potter is huge, but at the same time, those last Fantastic Beasts movies were not up to snuff, and you even see that kind of waning a little bit.
They didn't even finish it. Is that even getting finished?
Supposedly, but
they fired Johnny Depp.
They fired Johnny Depp. They're damn near ready to fire. What's her name? J.K. Rowling. So, I mean, there's a possibility it might not happen, or they're just waiting for some of those embers to cool down a little bit before they tackle it again.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, see that I forgot about that. Okay, here's the sad part. I woke up on Wednesday morning, remember, and I said, "Oh, damn, no Loki."
Yeah.
I forgot on Friday we were getting a Bad Batch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was out of the state. All you need to know. Oh, I wasn't. I woke up early.
I was out of the state. I forgot what day it was, man. I don't even know what today is. Is it Monday?
5:30 in the morning. I knew it was Monday. Friday. Everything was cool. I'm like, I totally forgot.
Was the same thing where I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. Oh no, Bad Batch is on tonight, like that. Yeah. And before I would be like, okay, I would be like, set. I gotta watch this because again, I'm gonna do it again. Again, it just.
I'm completely the opposite. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, oh shit, Bad Batch is on. Oh wait, now I've got Masters of the Universe. I got to watch that too. Oh crap, Ted Lasso's out. I
watched that first. I watched Masters of the Universe before I watched Bad Batch. I was done Masters of the Universe by 8:00 in the morning. I was off Friday. I do work, guys, but I took the day off. And then but it was 11:30. I remembered Bad Batch was on when I was done with Masters of the Universe because I texted you guys about noon and said, look. Oh, Bad Batch says no, and Omega says yes. Shocker. It was like
exactly
right. We knew.
I watch it at midnight, right? And I put in our chat. Sometimes like, hey, great episode. I just left it blank. I don't think I said a word. I'm like,
no.
More of the same.
Nobody said anything until noon.
Yeah. I'm hoping, like I said, this one is called War Mantle and it comes up this week, and it's not done. So I'm reserving judgment, but right now my judgment is like
is this the last one with a title?
Yes,
that we know.
Yeah. We don't know.
I think so.
We don't know the next 2 weeks.
I'll look it up really quick while we're talking, just to see if it's changed.
That's going to be good then. I bet you what you said earlier, like Filoni handed off some reins to people. I bet you somebody else did the first bunch while he was working on Kenobi, and this is me hoping, right? Yeah, and then he just took the last bunch. And that's why they're not.
He's like, here, I just want it to end like this. You could do whatever you want between, just end it like this, right?
See, like that's. It's the same issue though that I'm dealing with people right now that are bitching about Masters of the Universe. It's like you don't know the whole story yet. You don't know where it's going. You're just you're seeing a trajectory and you're assuming it's going to go one way. It could go. Right. Patience, people. Patience.
So, Cliff, last week, if you go to StarWars.com and look at the recaps to Bad Batch, it says Season 1, Episode 12, Season 1, Episode 13. So, given that, I would say, Season 2 is coming, but it's not official. It could be just a placeholder like we're talking about.
We're inferring that. That's all it is.
So, but it is on StarWars.com. It does say Season 1, Episode blank. So
there's no title yet for Episodes 15 or 16.
Right. So, we just know War Mantle this week. And then, exactly. Yeah.
It could be done with season 1, and I'd be happy. If it's going to continue on to season 2, I'm going to tune in. That's.
But we all will, and that's the way it works. Resistance took me that was hard.
I'll leave it like this because we're going to end the show here pretty in a minute. But right before Bad Batch was even when it was announced, saying this is what we're going to do with the Bad Batch, right? We said, and I remember saying this. I hope it's not just a bunch of side missions because that's boring, right? And then episode 1 kicked off. I'm like, holy crap! This is where we're getting here we go, and then it just kind of just fizzle. It's
dealing with the end of the clones, the changing the clones attitude, which we've seen glimmers of awesome on Ryloth. Dude, that's why I'm shocked you didn't like those episodes because those were some damn good episodes.
I did, but I enjoyed. Remember, I was telling you the first one when it was just Ryloth. And it was without the Bad Batch. I just liked it. It was fun because they had their cameo. And the second one again, it just was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And I was basically how I watch the Bad Batch now. I watch it, and then I just find myself doing this, and I go like that, and then I go to my phone. I check my email, and I check eBay's, and I go, oh, Sid, okay, cool. And then and then it's over. I'm like, well. I memorized the entire episode and I have nothing to say about it. That's what I've been.
It's only the second episode I haven't watched more than once.
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor and highlight Brandon Epler's question there?
Sure,
I think it's a great discussion point.
So Brandon says, how high are your hopes for Kenobi? Do you think that we will feel filler to watch it? Okay.
It'll be 6 episodes. It's 6 episodes. There's no Loki didn't feel like filler.
Right.
Well, there was that one purple episode,
but it got somewhere eventually.
It did.
Right. It was super.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah. So Brandon, being what we know about it being at 6 episodes, I think it's even if they're hour long, that's a short amount of time to do a Kenobi series, and I think it's going to be awesome. I think we're going to get
directed by Deborah Chow. I mean, she directed some of the most killer episodes of The Mandalorian. So
maybe there'll be 1 or 2 filler, but
no, I don't think they're not going to have time on 6. Robert Rodriguez about Book of Boba Fett, right? I know it's different series, but they're both 6. They're both mini series, right? He's there's no time for filler. It's start to finish.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez is doing the Boba Fett, and he said no filler, all killer.
He said no filler. Oh, no filler, all killers. Wait, so there's no time for it.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
and
we saw what
the guy for Kenobi too.
We saw what the guy could do with a 4-page script, right? I mean, that's the whole thing on Tython took 4 pages, I think it was, and he made that thing.
Yeah, no, I'm again. I say those things kind of in with a little bit of my hands tied behind my back because I go, look, I was cool with my 6 movies, but I love certain aspects of what we're getting, and what we've gotten. I do love it, and I wouldn't change it. But again, when you put too much on the plate and it's starting to be a little bland, then that's why I get worried, because Star Wars was never that. It was always a concentrated content. Here's this, and Shadows of the Empire. Here's Shadows. I know you have your difference on Shadows, but at that time when it was given to us, it was concentrated Star Wars, and it was so good.
I have my opinions on Shadows of the Empire that I know disagree with you guys, but at the same time, they did it right. It was multimedia. It was hitting you over the head left and right with just stuff. It was awesome.
Immediate. There was no big gaps. Here's your toys. Here's your book. Here's your soundtrack. Here's your game.
Yeah.
All in the store at the same time. You could go buy your Luke Scott. You could buy your flat top Chewie, and you could get your Slave One, and you do read the book and listen to the music.
Boba Fett Starship.
Yeah,
Boba Fett Starship.
What I don't want, I don't like is this now. It's hey guys, we have this room of about 200 people. Hey, okay, we're producing. It doesn't have to be good. Just put it out there. Oh, that has to be good. That's what I don't want to happen. That we can water down some of the stuff and just put it out there because it's Star Wars and it sells. That's where I'm okay, look, I'll go back to 6 movies. You know what I mean?
That's where that special factor sets in. Yeah.
So anyway, so cool discussion, guys. I like it. We have to make up our own theories to make Bad Batch work. But it's cool.
I think it works.
It's doing what it wants to do, right? It's just doing what we wanted it to do.
That's true too.
It usually comes down to our expectation. But to be again, it's I watch it, but the expectation should be good.
Yeah.
Today's episode wasn't, or this last episode wasn't
and I will,
really good.
I will only say the expectations because they set up those plot lines. Like we didn't ask for them, but they gave them to us, and we're not revisiting them. And that's what's like frustrating.
Like you said, Scott. Kind of one of the things. Do we need any of this? No. Yeah. I mean, you say, but yeah, we do. It's all Star Wars. We need it all, really, because they're giving it to us. Once it's out there, once you do it, you got to do it right, and it's just not being done.
Not all of it
until we see the because there's bits of genius in all of it, right?
Correct.
And some of it. Sorry. Yeah. If we get these last 2 episodes and it brings it all together, and all of a sudden these filler episodes,
I'll change
like they did in Mandalorian. They did it in Mandalorian very well. There was a bunch of filler, and when you look back, there's
no filler. Yeah.
It's so and maybe they're doing the same.
Yeah, I will do a 180 on it, and I will admit it. I will because I will still say like there's certain episodes that was just too long, but to get to the point, whatever. But at the same
people
time,
get in trouble when they don't change their opinions when
correct, absolutely,
right,
100%.
And that's what everybody's problem is on the internet. If they're going to decide to hate the High Republic, they're going to hate it forever. Yeah. They're going to love it. They're going to love it forever.
I cannot go into it.
We change our mind and tell you about it.
We do. Absolutely.
I can never go into something arms folded. I never go into any project, anything, Star Wars or non-Star Wars, arms folded. And there's a lot of people who do that, just like like Snake Eyes, right? I don't think it looks good, but I want to go in there. I want to see it, but I'm not going there to come out of there saying I knew I would hate it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I would never do that. So.
I didn't. It was not a G.I. Joe movie. It just happened to have some G.I. Joe names. But otherwise, I mean, that's another story for another time.
Right.
I agree, though. I think a lot of what you're saying is people's expectations. The same thing that happened to The Last Jedi. Everybody, even us, we set up what our expectations were. And when the movie didn't live up to the movie we had built in our minds, that's when all hell broke loose.
You would think they would hire us by now because we'd write better movies.
I mean, you wouldn't lose money. I'm telling you that much.
They haven't lost money.
No, I'm just saying, bringing Princess Leia, Darth Leia wouldn't have lost money.
That would have fixed it.
That would have fixed it.
No,
Darth Leia fixes everything.
All right, end it. Just pull the plug.
All right, so we're gonna end it. Thank you very much, Pitt. Thank you very much.
Dog just took a big old steamy crap in my carpet because I didn't get up for the last 5 minutes while she was staring at me here.
I'm sorry, Chris.
This shit up.
All right,
it is steaming.
Go. Scott's gonna take us out. Go take care of that, man. Thank you, everybody. I just do want to remind you guys that watch our Beyond the Pit episodes. We are going to be dropping a Masters of the Universe Netflix spoiler talk. We're going to talk the hell out of Masters of the Universe. That'll probably be dropping at least tomorrow or Wednesday. So check that out, guys. Beyond the Pit. But with that, thank you, everybody. Thank you for all our Patreons, our new Patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. And I will do so much better not to reveal what we're talking about early. But with that, Scott, take it away.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody, in the pit. All of our Patreon members, we really appreciate you and everything that you do for us. Please join us. Facebook.com. Look for Facebook.com. Just go to Facebook. What the hell? Sarlacc Digest Central. That's where you find all of us talking all the time. We drop theories. We talk to all of you, especially Mando Mike's really active in there. He's a fun guy to mess with. Really is a fun guy to mess with. We do have to get him on here one day so we can showcase his little projects. Though,
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Also check us out. Twitter. You are doing Twitter still, right, Chris?
Dude, I'm telling you, I hate social media. You see how much more calm I am now?
Yeah. You are calm.
All right. Well, never mind.
My blood pressure is chill, dude. I don't have many worries in this world because I don't often go on there. But when I do, guess what? I get in a fight.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Actually, it'll probably come up during the MOTU discussion. Nice. Why I don't go on the internet. Again.
We still have our TikTok channel going. I'm trying to get those 1 minute toy reviews done and in the can. So check it out. TikTok, Sarlacc Digest Podcasts.
Fun
1 minute toy reviews. I'm going to do a toy haul video. That's the next one in the pipeline. Toy haul. I think that's about it. You can check out Bootleg Joe, even though he's not here with us. Check out Bootleg Joe 760 on Instagram. I'm murdering that because this is usually where I say, "What's your name? What's your handle?"
Yeah, it's bootleg underscore 760.
That's
Bootleg
it.
Joe _760.
Yeah, I don't know. Try it with a B.
Yeah, so, just look up bootleg in 760. You'll find
Look up the Sarlacc Digest, see who liked the things, and if he's in there liking it, then click on his name.
He never likes anything that we put on.
That's how I get him to like it.
Oh, okay.
Then
Cliff likes your toy rants.
Oh, thanks.
The rants, more rants,
I've only
more
done
rants.
I've only done one rant because I've only been really pissed off once.
Yeah.
Well, your reviews come off fast. It seems like a rant.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because you have to talk fast for 1 minute.
Because you're like double elbow joint. I don't know if you're mad about the double elbow or if you're like just happy about it. So it's like a rant.
I'm just pointing it out, man.
Exactly.
Double jointed knees. Double jointed knee. Yeah.
That's what it is. That's a rant.
Gung Ho.
Yeah, that is Gung Ho. My least favorite G.I. Joe figure.
The wrong tattoo.
He looks like he's got a freaking Nazi tattoo on his chest.
Is the wrong tattoo on Gung Ho?
It is. It's not. It's like Chuck Liddell, so from the MMA. So
yeah, he's got like some kind of.
He does. What is that?
He's got the eagle swastika.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. I don't know, man. He needs the big. He has
to have the Marines logo. Yeah, exactly. So dumb.
It's a terrible figure. Anyway, done with my rant. Now I'm pissed.
There's
Thanks,
your rant.
Man.
There's your rant.
Cliff. Thanks, Cliff. Now I'm just angry.
You got us all worked up.
I know, right?
That's why I avoid the internet. I don't do nothing. See? Got me worked up.
So yeah, join us. So thanks again. Who's our new guy? Justin, Vanilla Thunder. Vanilla Thunder for becoming a Patreon member. We really appreciate it. Patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast. Please take a minute. Give us, just donate to us. All of it goes into the stellar production you're seeing now on your screen.
That logo costs money. It's not just there.
That's right.
It did. I didn't get paid when I did it. What the hell?
You guys, that's how we get more.
Yeah.
Okay.
$6 a minute.
Got it.
Exactly. And we've been on for 113 minutes. So that's, hey, stuff adds up.
All
right,
guys.
cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. Check us out next week as we go live again, talking about Star Wars and our Beyond the Pits. Master of the Universe is coming up next. Enjoy that. You guys, thank you very much. With that,
think about us when you watch Bad Batch and think, will the guys like this? Are they going to pitch on Wednesday?
I'd love that.
Yes.
Because the answer is yes.
Yes.
We're going to enjoy it, damn it. It's going to be the best episode of Bad Batch yet.
Right.
Just keep it nerdy, everyone. Okay.
Sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
Scott, go for it.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.